Hi Ben, thanks for sending this to me yesterday, and I'm sorry I didn't get to it sooner. I think this is going really well, and I think you can wrap it up pretty soon. So, what I would suggest is, hmm, well, let's do this first. So, this is really exactly what I had in mind. It's just getting in there and kind of cleaning up these boundaries so you don't have some of it bleeding past one of these white boundaries, these white lines. And then also having it fade more. Just have it fade to this background gray. And you can kind of stretch it out. You can use this as kind of, a visual pathway to take the eye to other parts of the composition. Like this starts to point to here. Um, and as this fades away, but it kind of fades away up here. So our eye is kind of moving around, but maybe concentrating on moving it to different parts of the important information that you want to see. So again, having things fade very slowly, you can have this kind of move down here. It kind of brings our eye down to the title. The same with this one. You can kind of fade and kind of bring us down here to this side of the title. So we have, lines bringing our eye down here and over here. Um, let's see. So I'm thinking, so I really love the hard edge that you have here. Um, but you really want to make sure that see how this is kind of flowing out. You want to clean that up, clean this up. Maybe just have it end end here, like just clean this one out right here. Maybe it will be more hard edged. I kind of imagine part of the image kind of being having a harder boundary and then kind of fading out more as it goes along. But maybe you don't need to do that. Maybe it just kind of needs to fade. Kind of fade, fade. Um, because this to me, it's spilling outside of these lines. Unless you can include more of the image. So here's the face, the outline of the face. We see enough of the face that's well defined here. The concentration on the eye is nice. But maybe there's some more visual information. I think this is a person, she's kind of wearing a head wrap of something or something like that, like a wrap around her hair or head. Just having that fade out more. I'm not sure what this is right here, this line, but obviously that's too sharp. And this one too, just this is a little bit different. It's lighter than that background, but it could fade, this lighter area could fade into this slightly darker gray area. So just working on cleaning up those images. This looks great. This person is looking down. You kind of imagine that she's looking at this person or maybe looking at this information here, and these people are looking directly at the viewers, so I think that's really nice. So you have one big image and it's balanced by two kind of smaller images. Let's think about, we'll come back to that. So let's think about kind of the O. I think, you can start to, you need to form this O. We can't see the O here unless we look really closely, and we might happen to notice it. I understand you want to keep it subtle, but it needs a little bit further development. Maybe, you take one of these gray values here, or maybe you take this blue and you just kind of fill it in. Maybe the outer ring here is this blue, and maybe one more inner ring is this blue, or maybe they're both kind of a darker achromatic gray. I'm not really sure what would look better. So so you might have to experiment with this a little bit. Should it be blue? Should it be a darker gray? What should it be? Now, when I look at Chris Marker placed in this uh, white horizontal band, I associate it more with this information. And what I want to do is associate it more with this information. So having it in this a similar white horizontal band and similar to this one, and then having them right next to each other makes me group this information together when I want to group this information with the movie title. So I might try moving this back up. I might try taking it out of the black binder, I'm sorry, the white horizontal band, to see what would be the best fit. So continuing, sorry I had to interrupt that for a minute for a phone call. This information, you know, it may print darker. It looks a bit light on my screen, though I like it light, but maybe a little bit darker because it really fits in with the visual hierarchy. This is, you know, secondary or even less important information than this. As for the tagline, we do not remember, we rewrite history. Again, it may print darker. It's really hard to distinguish between this color and this color. It might be helpful that in this color. So this is different than these, I believe, and these are different from, and these, the color of these words are different from this. So you're really trying to emphasize remember, rewrite, memory. But depending on how it prints, when I'm looking at it online, it's a little bit harder to distinguish. It's just hard. I'm thinking, is that, it's slightly different, but maybe you need to push it a little bit further. Now I'm kind of just thinking alignment, you know, how the left side of this all aligns nicely. And then how does it connect up here? Or does it have to connect up here? Would you want to move this entire block over so it kind of aligns with the right side or the left side of her face? And then how does that affect, you know, the alignment here? You know, where does this align? And where does it align up here? I would probably try to get some common alignment between these two lines and this information down here. So it's kind of a nice, clean square. The alignment for this with this organic shape is not as important, I think, as probably the alignment of this text with this text and with this piece of information. Okay? Those are my suggestions, and I think it's coming along really good. Oh, I know we talked about the kerning of these letters, that you're trying to align certain things. So I'm wondering, maybe you manipulate this L, you know, so that you have some better alignment here. This still seems pretty far away to me, but I know you want to align it with the S, but this seems like this needs to be closer, closer. See how close these are? You don't get that same feeling here. So this seems good. This is okay. And I'm thinking, is this, you know, is this visually the same? I still think you need to tweak it. I know that you want to maintain some alignments, and I think you can still make that possible, but it's going to take a little bit more manipulation. And I think you have to work this out before you can start to think about how these align with this, or even this. All right, that's it. All right, let me know if you have any questions, and you're doing a good job.